Hey everyone, first and foremost, just wanted to say thank you to everyone regarding my first video. Well, that was before everyone got mad at me on Instagram. But I'll be addressing that in a video later that I'll link once that's published this week as well. So again, just very grateful, very humbled and appreciative of everyone's nice words. So thank you. It's always hard for any of us to put ourselves out there. So thank you for appreciating that. But one video does not make a YouTuber, or more specifically, what I'm trying to be is a booktuber, which is good because it's a smaller goal. What is this channel? First, let's step back and take a look at a stat real quick. Did you know that something like 97% of YouTube channels and podcasts don't make it past 3 episodes? 3. Oh, real quick joke. What do you call a group of white people? A podcast. Sorry, I had to do that quick little dad joke. But seriously, for a while there, it was everyone and their mama making a podcast, right? And my personal favorite 100th podcast, YouTube video, whatever you want to call it, created by all my friends and family. If I had to list them, it would go just one. My buddy Dan and his channel, What's Inside It. Like I said, they just do not exist. And I do not want to be another piece of that pile of a sad statistic. So my goal is to make about 25 videos by the end of 2024. So basically, since I'm just starting out, it's taking me about a week to make a video because I have a full-time job, and on the side I have to read and I have to write, of course. So it's taking me about a week to do this. So I'm giving myself 2 weeks to do a video for a year. So I'm giving myself twice as much time as needed. Why am I doing that? Because, life happens. I hate tight deadlines, but I still need a deadline. I just need very loose and wide deadlines. Again, I have a job, I have a writing career, I have family. All that comes first. Then the YouTube thing will come last. It's not the number one top priority. I'm just trying to be realistic with this YouTube thing because I haven't always been realistic in other things in life. One thing I am grateful for is my understanding and appreciation of how long things take. If you want to have a successful YouTube podcast or whatever, it takes a minimum of 100 videos and at least 5 years of work, probably more. But since my current goal is to become a successful booktuber, not a YouTuber, my goal will be consistency, not size. So again, I'm hoping to make 5 videos by the end of March 1st of 2024. Again, the less pressure, the easier. So in a few years and about 100 videos later, I hope to consider myself a booktuber. Until then, I'm just another wannabe podcaster, and that is motivating like a mother. Again, I'm not doing this to become a YouTube or an Instagram or a TikTok star or whatever. If anything, I'm kind of disrespectful because I'm doing this to complement my writing, because that comes first. In fact, that earlier video of my buddy Dan cutting open his 1 million subscriber button is a nice goal. Very nice. But what is my goal number-wise for this booktube? 1,000 followers. That's it. Now, you might think that's small, but passionate fans and readers are hard to come by. There's a saying that it's easier to sell one course for $2,500 than it is to sell 25 books at $10. And that is 100% true. So having 1,000 people follow my YouTube channel for my author writing journey is like people hitting 100,000 YouTube followers because my niche is so niche. So that's the plus side of having this thing. The bar for a successful booktuber for now is considerably lower than your average YouTube that you watch every day. But I still haven't touched on what this episode is about. Well, it's about what this channel is about. On a quick aside, When TikTok first came out, I naturally thought it would be the worst place for readers and in turn writers. My snobbery was based on the idea that the more someone played on their phone, e.g., had a lower attention span, the more someone didn't read. Now, as we all know, BookTok has saved the American bookstore and has made an unknown number of writers sell millions. Boy, was I wrong. And as you will see throughout this booktube, I am wrong, and I will be proven wrong a lot. So anyways, so the best avenue for independent authors for myself is BookTok. And I find that it's hard to be on TikTok all the time. It just eats up too much of my time, and this giving up of social media has really helped me become just a happier, more confident person. So I like not being on social media, and YouTube is still not really social media, but it allows me to do this and then repurpose it to TikTok and then finally to Instagram. And what is it that I always do watch, that I always am spending more time on? YouTube. I love YouTube. It has all my chess, DC comics, everything that I love is on there. It's the best. I'm always watching YouTube. So just like my first episode of Document, Don't Create, I'm gonna make a YouTube video. So like I said on my first YouTube here of Document, Don't Create, I'm gonna make a YouTube video and then I'll just repurpose them for TikTok and, like I said, Instagram. But it'll mainly be YouTube because that way I get to create content and stay off social media. Ding ding. But I still haven't answered the question. What is this channel about? I guess I somewhat touched on it, but not really. Primarily, my hope, because things change, is that it'll be about writing and reading. Hopefully, I'll talk mostly about the craft of writing, I suspect, and then I'm gonna throw in some book reviews as well. Well, that's the plan. Just like episode 1 proved, it had nothing to do with either reading or writing. Like most ideas and most plans, the plans never come out as planned, and the ideas and visions become something completely different at the end. I may not be good at a lot of things, but I do know to roll with the punches and to expect the unexpected. Some of the other things that I'm fluent in that are not too sexy are things like anxiety and physical pain. Basically, my nervous system, with those two things, anxiety and physical pain, it is a freeway filled with potholes. But I am very fluent in it, so it's just a matter of time before I start talking about it and sharing it. When? I don't know, but I'm sure I will. One thing that I do know about, one of my expertise in life is history. However, one thing I do detest is modern history, or as we like to call it, politics. I consider myself very well versed in history, having written 2 historical novels. Side note, a historical novel is just like any other novel, just with 10 times the work because of all the research you'll be doing. It's like 10 books in one, not even kidding. Anyways, I hate politics. Hopefully you hate politics. Yet I love history, so there is a disconnect there. One of the more amazing dynamics is how the past does shape current events. The only problem is that 99% of people do not have an understanding of history, or to put it more bluntly, they can only see through their modern lens. In fact, people will rewrite history in their mind just to justify their opinions on current matters. Just mental gymnastics on mental gymnastics. If people were mature enough to accept other people's opinions, or be willing to accept that they might be wrong, or resist the urge to carry the ultimate of all American attributes and not think that they're an expert on everything, I could share historical perspectives on modern problems. Unfortunately, as I'll share in my next video, I should have known better. People are set in their ways and feel personally attacked if you don't share in their one-sidedness. So I will plan on touching on history, something that I love and care about, but I'll try and leave it just there, back in history. That way we won't have to talk politics. The last thing that I'll be sharing on this YouTube, BookTube, I think, is my philosophy on life and other things. Us writers like to be left alone because our brains are always going. So we need a break from the world. And that's why other people drain our energy. While I am trying to fix this and be more of an extrovert and more outgoing, it's been quite the ride and continues to be quite the ride. I'm not the same person I was last year, and I'm not going to be the same person next year. You know, that know-it-all person that is right about everything who I chastised earlier a few moments ago? Well, I know that person all too well. I know that type of person who will rewrite history to forward their agenda. I know that person that thinks they're right about everything. How do I know these toxic traits in a person? Why do I know that type of crappy person so intimately? Because that was and still is me. In fact, the reason I bring it up so much isn't for me to tell you. It's for me to hear me and remind myself not to be that person anymore. I still, to this day, will fall into that person I just talked smack about. I am human, so that means I will fail more times than not. But I am proud that I am at least trying and that I am aware of my many, shortcomings. Finally, why did I name this channel Document Don't Create? I named this channel after a Vaynerism, Gary Vaynerchuk. In the YouTube video of this video, I'll link to a great video that's like 7 years old and captures his idea perfectly. Like, when do you start working on that dream of yours? When do you hit publish on that dream of yours? When do you start sharing your dream? It's easy. You start now because you just document, you don't create. Gary Vee's philosophy is really smart, actually. It answers all those questions and excuses that voice in your head, the guy I call the excuse machine, comes up with. It counters every and any excuse you can come up with. When do I start sharing my dream of having a pottery store when I have never even touched a piece of clay, nor have I ever ran a business in my life? It's easy. You document it. Like this. It's simple. And the other reason I use the Vaynerism is because I not only believe in what he says, I know it's true. It's not even a question of if I'll become a best-selling author. If I just do what others won't, which is put in the work for at least another decade or two, I will hit it. 99% of the world doesn't believe in their dreams. 99% of the world won't even search for their why. And when the rare person does find their why, they don't act on it. And then, if you do believe in your why, and you work on that craft that's connected to your why, they don't put the consistency to make that dream a reality. They don't put in the consistency that makes that successful man overnight that we all love. People only see the finished product of the overnight success, but they never see the quarter century or half century of practice that it takes to become that overnight success that we see everywhere at the end. I am so confident and sure of this that is why I named the channel of my writing journey after something Gary Vee talked about nearly a decade ago. Because one day I'll be so big, Gary Vee's people are going to hit me up, not the other way around. And we'll look back and we'll laugh and we'll be like, see, I was right. And I'll be like, yes, you were, Gary. Just give me a little bit of time, like 5 or 10 years or 20. I don't know. And all this faith coming from someone who has averaged selling 1 book a year for the past 4 years. Yay, $4. All right, I do have a book to edit. I have some basketball to watch. And most importantly, some social media not to look at. Again, thank you for the kind words on that first video. It means the world to me, especially since we live in a world where people, and particularly men, do not receive compliments. So again, thank you. Ciao.